In your Egyptian Pharaoh project, you're going to use the same document that you have to start your notes, and the Pharaoh project directions are on the first page. So far you've been learning about one of the pharaohs using multiple print and digital sources. You've been using books, ebooks, and websites that you've found. And you're figuring out a little bit about the life of the pharaoh. On the second page of this document is where you've been taking your notes. These notes need to be finished before you start your Pharaoh project, and they are part of the project grade. So down here where it says completed notes page 4, that means when I total up the points for your project, having finished notes is part of the grade. You have two options for the project. Option 1 is to create a Google Slides presentation with the information you've been collecting, and you can include photos of your Egyptian pharaoh, you can include other photos of ancient Egypt to go along with the information that you have. These slides are not something that you need to share with the class, so you'll just put these slides together to share with me, and you might include a little bit more detail in your slides than you might if you were actually sharing these with a group of people. The second option is to pretend that you are a talk show host interviewing an Egyptian pharaoh. So it would have the same information, but instead of slides with pictures, you'll put this into a script using something like Google Docs, where you can just type out a conversation between two people. So you as the host and the pharaoh that you're interviewing. So you'd have this pretend conversation, but all of the responses that the pharaoh gives you would be based on what you learned about this pharaoh. That's another option, but you do not need to present that one as well, not for this project. Either way, the scoring guide is the same. Tell me the name of the pharaoh, tell me the time periods you've discovered, describe his or her kingdom, include the major accomplishments. The reason this is in bold is because it is worth 8 points. So out of your 28 points, that one is worth the most. I really want you to spend some time. This might need 2 or 3 slides for your accomplishments, or a few questions to ask in your script about what did this person do and why are they remembered. You'll include your print and digital sources, and please check your spelling and capitalization. Note for print and digital sources, in ELA you've been using something called MyBib to cite your sources. If you use MyBib to cite your sources in MLA format for this project, and you've used print and digital sources, you'll get the full 4 points. If you want to just list your names of the books and the names of the websites or the links to the websites, and you have print and digital sources that are reliable sources, that would just be a 3. Do not list Epic as a source. Tell me, what books did you read on Epic? Do not just list Google as a source. Tell me, what websites did you click on or did you find your information when you did a Google search about your pharaoh. So I want the names of the books and the links to the articles so that you have an accurate representation of where you got your information. And I do want to show you just a quick sample of option 2. If I was typing an interview with a pharaoh, this is just a plain Google Doc, but I have here just a setup where it's a conversation between 2 people. So I might have a quick intro, welcome to the social studies show, introduce who my pharaoh is, and then the pharaoh starts talking. And then, we have a conversation here. The conversation continues. Can you tell us more about those monuments and statues? And then the pharaoh tells us about the monuments and statues, but this includes information that I picked up from my notes. When I read about Ramses II, I read about this temple. that has 4 statues in front of it that are 66 feet tall, so I'm going to include those details in this conversation. If you're making slides, you might include a picture to go with the details instead of these other, short sentences about, being impressive and having the uniqueness of ancient Egypt. You might include the visuals instead. So that is a quick overview of your 2 options. You only need to do one, and you'll attach that on Google Classroom when you are finished. Make sure you let me know if you have questions that I can help you with along the way.